Hello, Dave.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. You're on
Good.
the air.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, good. I just got a speakerphone in my voice coming loud and clear.
Yeah, that's nice and clear.
Excellent. Okay, I'm just in Dauphin at the Northwest Regional Meeting, and I just came off the stage and finished giving my presentation. The house is packed with executives. Usually it's twice as packed as that. But again, Francis had to limit the amount of attendees because here in Dauphin, as we know, or may not know, people listening on the show, it was just 2 days ago, there was another 160 evacuees transferred to Dauphin. So that means every hotel room and everything else is booked.
Yeah.
So just as we're seeing everywhere else, including Winnipeg and Brandon, Port La Prairie, and the list goes on. Actually, it was a count done. It was, I think, in totality, the number I heard was about 31,000 since the first phase of the first fire, the second phase of the second fire, now the third phase of the third fire. So it's this a mounting number it's unimaginable how much people and kids and families have been moved out of their houses and out of their communities to go live and sleep in cots in different places. And we've been able to be successful in using a lot of our facilities to take the most challenged ones and give them a place to stay, whether it's our camps, which are very well suited for these events like this, because our camps actually have internet, they have a big giant kitchen, they have exercise room, they got TVs, they got everything they need, washer and dryers. So it's all set up to ensure that the place is not a full long-term stay, but definitely one that could address some of your present issues that you'd be facing. So I'm very happy with the workers that are working so hard in our evacuation committee. Stephanie Mueller is our lead on that, and she's doing a superb job. And I just can't say enough of the work our team are doing. And that compliment's been coming from everywhere, including the Premier, and all the way down to the chiefs, the Grand Chiefs, thanking the Federation for what we're doing. Because about 90% of the people right now that are coming are all First Nations. But here's a good example. We're cousins, we're relatives, and the Federation is not only serving Métis people, we're serving everyone. And we're trying to help everyone. And most of the people we're putting up right now is First Nation and helping them. And some of them are really challenged because some mothers, of course, had to leave just with a backpack and to contain all the stuff they would need. And, of course, they're never going to address it. They don't know how long they were going to be gone. But they weren't allowed to take suitcases because the planes were limited to what can be put in a plane. And so it let them be with not proper clothing, not proper shoes. And, again, I thank all Manitobans that have donated so much. I thank my Métis citizens with big hearts who continue to donate and help out, and all the First Nations that also donated to help out. So it's just something that I think we need to reflect in. And a lot of them are single families that come out. They drop off strollers that they no longer use, yet in good shape. And those strollers are essential because a lot of babies came with these mothers coming from the reserves in different villages. Yeah. And so when you look at it, it's very important to reflect how it is to make sure that we are doing this all together. And I can't say enough, as I said, the team that we have at the Federation has been so remarkable. They've been tired, Oliver. They're getting tired. They're long hours, 14, 16-hour days, and because it never ends. I don't know how they keep on doing it, but they're doing it and keeping up with the pace and the demand. So, again, I hope they're listening so they can hear how proud I am of their work and what they're achieving. So, the fortunate thing is that the fires and the wind, we got a report, I think it was 180-something fires now.
Oh,
that is ridiculous. Like, it's just that, and some of them were set by man, but very little. The majority of all set by lightning and nature, and just a continued expansion of one fire just creating another fire, and on and on and on. So it's been hard for the firefighters, hard for the people in Thompson. Even here, in Dauphin last night, we were coming in. I flew in from Ottawa yesterday, got to the airport, and there was a car waiting for me, so I came straight out to Duck Bay to be here in Dauphin's meeting this morning. I was actually getting a little tired all the. It's a long journey to go to meetings and jump in a plane, jump in a car, and back in up north again. So, but that's it was important to me to come give the message to the citizens here, and there's so many locals. One of the things I expressed loud and clear to the locals today, how proud I am of each and every one of them. You look at the crowd. There's one there who's 90 years old. He's still part of the local. So. They keep on giving and giving and giving and fighting to defend who we are, to make sure that people know that Red River Métis are proud people, hard-working people, but we're a Western people. We're not Eastern people, and we're not Ontario. We're different people.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the reasons also people listening, why didn't you see it on the front page of Free Press and all over the news outlets all over Canada saying, like, David's not going to the meeting with the Prime Minister and the other Métis leaders. Well, first of all, I'm not going to go to a meeting where the Métis National Council was not legitimate in any capacity. They only have 2 people left in their board, and their board needs 3. It needs 2 founding members and 1 other to be legitimate, and they don't have that. Yet they're spending money, yet they sued us. There's still an ongoing litigation case. We're waiting for a conclusion for the judge. We feel very confident about that case. What they claim was all false. So from our perspective, we know, and they even admitted in court they had no evidence. So they just sued us.
Oh.
So just for vendetta, really what it was.
Yeah.
But the point there is they were at that meeting, and I said, my people already instructed me I'm not going to be working with Ontario. So I'm not going to that meeting. You're going to put me in a difficult position. And so that message was sent to the Prime Minister, but I guess they didn't take heed. They didn't advise him well. And this thing blew up in front of him. He didn't realize this was happening. So I did meet. Our cabinet was there. Our cabinet met with both ministers, Minister Mandy Galmasti. She's the Minister of Indigenous Service Canada. And then we also met with Rebecca Aldi. She's the Minister of Crown and Indigenous Relations. Now, she takes the bigger files, that one, because she's dealing with the treaty. She did make a promise to our cabinet. It will go into the fall, into Parliament for reading, and then also for a vote in Royal Assent. That should happen in the fall, she said. And she'll start discussions and negotiations for our land claim. And we talked about Bill 92, which we believe is essential. Bill 92, for those that are listening and are for Child and Family Services, what it is about prevention. That's what that program is all about. That entire commitment by Canada is to start giving the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit agencies the necessary tools to start prevention. Forget just apprehension, where you take children, but you need to strengthen the family for the child to go back. So the program is really designed to deal with prevention and deal with strengthening families, strengthening the children, putting a place of solidarity for the children to be safe. Yeah. And that's what that money is. That's what the province does not fund. And the province does not fund us on that. That's why you've seen some layoffs. You've seen they cut off all the prevention program because they cut off any funding to that. But the province really funds only apprehension. And that's unfortunate. The province should be funding. I've echoed that to the Premier and to the Minister. They should be funding prevention. That's the key. They want to drop the statistical number of how many children are being taken. They damn well better start by helping families get strong. The reason families are broken, there's a lot of history there that tells you why they're broken. But in order to strengthen the chance of the child to have a solid home, you've got to help the family. You just don't take a kid away, put them in a foster home and say, okay, it'll solve itself.
That's
it
right. It
doesn't. You've got to damn well have a plan. And that's what Bill 92 is supposed to have done, help us. And we're still pushing the province. They have a responsibility too, not just the federal government. But the federal government truly has to get this resolved. And they made a promise they would get into that. So the Prime Minister did call me. I did have a discussion with him for about 20 minutes on the phone. He's already committed to a bilateral meeting with the Red River government. He will sit down with us and talk about Bill C-5. He'll sit down with us to talk about our key issues, issues that are important to us, and make it very clear that the Red River Métis government to him is a very important aspect. It's all Indigenous people to him. But clearly from our side, he sees the Red River government in our value. And of course, we have a magnificent group of skilled cabinet members.
Yes.
And at the same time, our portfolios have hit the airwaves, and not only provincially but federally, everywhere, about all the great work we're doing. So also want to take Rebecca Chartrand. She was out there meeting with the people and, of course, advocating for her representation here in northern Manitoba. And so it's good to see Rebecca working hard at her task and her responsibility. So when you look at other matters that are really starting to press strong, there's the upcoming assembly. Cabinet will probably have an emergency meeting later. Now we're being told that a lot of the villages and reserves in the north that have gone evacuation notice may not be able to go home for months.
Oh.
And the reason why, all these, because the hydro cannot connect.
Right.
Hydro, of course, a lot of poles were burnt and disconnection occurred, and a lot of damage has happened to the hydro infrastructure. So now there's a talk about some communities not be able to go back until October. So that means all the hotel rooms will be fully utilized.
Right.
And when we have our assembly, we need 1,000 hotel rooms.
Right.
So that may cause us to change our assembly from October to November.
Right.
But then when that happens, we start to worry now about winter storms.
Yes.
So a lot of that starts to give you a clear indication that we need to be watching what's taking place and what's happening. So when you look at regional meetings, will still continue. Even here, this is a smaller context of regional meetings because Francis did not have the hotel rooms or infrastructure and invite more people and stay overnight and have a bigger event. So other regional meetings are still being planned and we'll be going ahead with them.
Okay.
Events will start to take place, like Turtle Mountain having an event. But again, the challenge they'll face is that if people come and need hotel rooms, all of Russell and all that is all full. All those places are full for evacuees right now. So there's not much room to try to get your program, or regional or facility or festivities
Right.
to play if you don't have a place to host your musicians, host your activities of who's going to be there and needs to be there. But again, also want to say thank you to, if they're listening, maybe they're listening out in Ottawa, Liam and Colonel David Grebstad were all there. They wanted to be part of the cabin meeting. They asked if they could come. I said, of course, they're beyond border citizens, and they want to come and listen. And then we had the settlements also. David Lamouche came. He's the president of the settlements. And Brenda is the vice president. She came along with their executive director, Taxi and Steel. So it was really a good, robust discussion we had there. We dealt with a lot of our financial matters in this context of our upcoming preparation in case there is a crash in the economy. We are worried about that. If there's a crash in the economy, if Trump gets his way, he's going to try to destroy or hurt Canada by an economic hardship. And that means that's why he's putting the tariffs. And people say, what the hell is the tariff going to do? Well, tariff is going to actually increase the price of that steel, aluminum, copper, any of our natural minerals that will go that way, our oil and gas.
No.
Anything that goes that way, if we slap the tariff on it, what it means is you got to pay a higher degree to sell your product in the United States, which then means your product has gone to a higher value, and really it hits the consumer. At the end, the consumer pays it all. But the agencies will be hurt, and could lead to layoffs, could lead to hardships, shutting down companies, shutting down plants. So that's the danger about what can happen on that issue. So that's why the tariffs, you listen to tariffs, whether it's 35% or more, they're damaging. They're very hard on the business sector. Jeez. And then at the end, it's the hardworking people that end up paying for all this. And then at the end, they have to shut down some of their opportunities for jobs. Right. So the growth will stop, and everything will start to change to a different direction. So again, it's a different concept, I think, from people hearing the word tax. It's basically like a tax. It's just the word tariff. It's just changing the process of it. But at the end, it will affect us. And if it does affect us, I spoke to the region this morning. If it does affect us, the entire income tax that is collected, that runs government, that runs then programs, all that will be affected. So health, education, anything that the government collects taxes on and use to provide those programs could be hit pretty hard, and they'll start cutting back on it. So again, as I said, there's so much going on the national scale, international scale, and I'm trying to pay attention to every component of it so we can prepare our government to get ready for any one of it and be ready to step in. So I indicated to the people this morning, that's why it's so essential that we keep on doing our ongoing planning as a cabinet. So our cabinet knows we're going to tighten up the belt and prepare ourselves because this is not going to be over next month, next week. This is going to take on a life of its own, legs of its own. And as I said, that's why I think First Nations themselves, they too are trying to get ready and figure out how they're going to evaluate their situation. Is there going to be cutbacks? Is housing going to be cut back? Is there going to be less housing built? All of these things. So there's so many factors in this thing we got to watch for. But let me get some birthdays here.
Okay.
These are really special ones. Happy 80th birthday is going to Margaret Chaboyer, who's celebrating her birthday today, Saturday, August 9th. So happy birthday, Margaret. That's Jean Chaboyer's wife, Margaret Chaboyer. Happy 84th birthday is going to Victoria Como, Joseph Fourier's mother, who's celebrating her birthday on Sunday, August 10th. Happy big 84th birthday to Victoria. And happy 73rd birthday is going to Marvin Mayer, the Vice President and Mr. Julie Mayer's husband, who's celebrating his birthday on Wednesday, August 13th. Donald, I think, is 1 year older than him, so happy birthday to them. And again, there's also, I'll talk a little bit about this. I actually will be here a little longer. I'm going to a funeral. The wake will start tomorrow. Of course, my brother-in-law is now passed. Everybody knows him. His nickname was Kierman. Don't ask me where I come from. That carried with him forever, that nickname. Where it came from, I don't know. But his real name was Robert Chunai, and Abel Leque and Abel, that's their son. Actually, he's the youngest. He's the last of that family. He's now passed on. It's my sister's husband. They were together forever. They have, of course, Richard was on cabinet. He sits on a youth and programs, sports programs, is where the minister tonight sits as his father. And that's my brother-in-law. My sister passed some time ago. I think she passed 2013. But my brother-in-law was starting to deteriorate, and in some ways, we can set a say to ourselves, he wanted to go because he kept on saying my sister's nickname was Chikwem, and her real name Pauline Janai. She's a school teacher, and she passed, and they were together forever, and nothing would break them apart. And so he used to always say, already going back nearly a year, Chikwem's going to come get me soon. Chikwem's going to, meaning his wife.
Really?
He's going to come get me soon. He's going to come get me soon. Huh. And so as his kidneys started to affect, he had dialysis and everything, he said that he wanted Chikwem to come and get him.
Wow.
So he's with her now in heaven and in a good place, and their kids fully understand that. But, you look back at a history of just that family alone, which reflects a lot of our families. You think about the blueberry patch, or hunting, fishing. He was all those things. That he was a trapper. He did all those things. It was just something he was very proud of.
Yeah.
He's a hardworking man, and I wish him well with my sister up there. Actually, my daughter told him before. One of the things I find amazing, and when you go to see your loved ones when they're getting ready to depart, and they're trying to say goodbye to everybody, and he would, of course, be sort of in a coma state and come back and forth. And then they played music he loved, singing and playing guitar, and he had this very unique voice, and he liked people like Hank Williams Sr. and those were his heroes, and so his great grandson came there and said, "Papa, sing that song," and so his eyes were closed, and all of a sudden he just started piping out. I started trying to sing a song, like he never opened his eyes, but he was just singing away, so. But he could hardly. He was weak, but he still sang, So, and I love that because it tells you a lot about our family in our culture. Yeah, it reflects the way our families do things, and also respects the way our family is connected. So that's very important. So, anyways, anybody wants to attend that, there's a wake tomorrow with prayers at 7:00 in the Duckley Hall, and then on Monday, August 11th, there's at 12:00. There'll be a church service at St. Thomas Aquinas Church in Duckbay, and I want to thank Brian Thompson for helping dig out the grave and having it ready. His backhoe broke, and now my sister is trying to reach out to the chief of Pine Creek to see if they can help with their backhoe when the funeral's over. So we'll see what happens there. And if not, good old shovels will take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I want to say goodbye now. I got to get back into this meeting here.
Okay.
I'll give the 10 minutes extra calling for our people to call in.
Okay.
Because trust me, there's so much to report. But our citizens out there, be prepared. The assembly might change. It might leave from October to November, depending on what happens. And this rain last night, we were coming in and we couldn't even see the road.
Holy.
So it was pouring and pouring. I just was telling Dawn, I said, I hope all this rain moves to the north. That's what firefighters are begging for. Yeah. And I understand they did get rain, but I understand it wasn't as powerful as it was here in Dauphin, Duck Bay, Camberwell, Winnipeg. And it was, I'm telling you, it was, the old people would say it's like the clouds broke it up and the barrels of water were poured down,
Jeez.
So, there's a Soto name for that. But anyways, again, it's good to see that. And,
yes.
And again, in closing, I want to say again, thank you to all the staff that worked so hard with this evacuee program. But we also have to get back to work into a lot of our files. As I said, we got to prepare ourselves. The economy is not the most stable right now in our country. And we all have to work together on this.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was on the show this morning?
What was that?
Well, we had his name, Matthew Sabarin from What's the name of the
Non-Such
business?
Brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, we invested in that. That's a good one.
Yeah, and he's really,
I think they're doing well. I
Yes.
think they're doing well as far as I got the brief on them.
yeah, and they're opening a second location on Osborne.
I
Osborne?
think Non-Such Brewery.
Yep.
They make beer. I think that's what their passion is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't drink, so they're not going to get nothing from me.
But they have food though. Like they have a restaurant and they have really good food there as well. You said the burgers are really good.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I promise I'll try it out before the next show.
Okay.
I should be in Winnipeg back on Tuesday, I hope. And then I hope I don't have to go anywhere. Then I'm going to go to Non-Such Brewery just to taste that burger so I can talk about it on the show.
Oh, he'd be happy to. I'm very sure he'd be happy to have you there
I hope so.
because he's very thankful to the MMF. That's for sure. The LRCC.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there's something happening here. Give me a second here. I just want to see. Oh, St. Norbert Market is happening.
Oh, fun.
That's Dave Woodon reporting from there. And that's again. There's Métis there. The hunters of Métis and Manitobans.
Mm-hmm.
There's jiggers and dancers at the St. Norbert. I forgot about that market. It's a Métis market.
Oh, good.
So there's Minister Carrier's there. Billy Cross, MLA's there. Robert LaSalle is there. So kudos to them for going to the event. Thank you, David, for giving me a heads up. But if you want to go to the market, it's something to do today. And probably tomorrow, head down to St. Norbert, and you'll see a lot of artisans there and probably a lot of products and produce that you can purchase and share with your family. So, again, take care, everybody. I'll talk to you guys next Saturday. I'm just running out of water right now. I got to drink some water. Nobody bought me water.
Okay,
so, I'm going to stop shortly. I'll talk to you guys.
Take care of yourself, and thank
Okay,
you so very
take care.
much.